I want to encourage everybody how it is important for you to maintain your diet. A well, healthy diet. It plays a very significant role when you're a spiritual person, right? There are some types of different diets which I don't want to share with the people because they're very extreme. The diet which you have to take on your breath in order for you to actually sustain your vitality, energy all the time, right? There's certain breathing techniques that you need to do, that you can do in order for you to actually maintain the health in your body. And all of this is being done to rejuvenate and regenerate your cells. It's what I always do each and every week. For instance, I don't eat so much food in my life. I eat once a day and it's good enough for me, right? It can be between hours, maybe perhaps I can eat at 6 p.m. having a full meal, and my meal has no meat. All the food that's there is very, very natural. Okay, so having to breathe in a different way can affect your spiritual life force, and you can be able to maintain the way you look because of it. You have to understand this, right? The more you eat food, it is the more you get to actually deteriorate inside of your body. Your body just gets deteriorated, and you don't become strong. You become weak. You grow even old very quick, right? However, when you have less food in your body, then you're opening a field of the cells to regenerate themselves to the point that now they're making your body to be strong, to have a superconductive energy of a body, because you're an energy being. We are all energy beings, right? But it takes a certain level for you to actually live on that. You can't be an energy being, but all the time you're consuming a lot of food. And then at the same time, you want to maintain the power and your abilities within. It does not work like that. For instance, right, I do a lot of healing with a lot of people in this whole entire world, consciously, and to some people they don't even see it or even realize it, right? Now, I cannot be a person who has to heal people all the time and have so much food in my body, in my stomach. It does not work like that. Rather, what I do, I do a lot of breathing techniques to absorb all the energy, vitality that makes me whole again, because each and every food we eat and consume, the only thing that we actually going after there is just energy. Already your food that you intake inside of your system makes you think that you're actually now full, because your stomach now has a lot of loads of food inside of it, right? However, that's not the case. You don't actually get full as a spiritual person. You can take more than you know. For instance, look at a tree. The tree is always standing in its position all the time, right? It is grounded. First powerful thing that it does, as it is grounded, it is actually constructing all of this energy inside of its body, because trees are energy beings. They're like you and I. There's no difference between trees and you. They're one and the same thing. Now, they don't actually have to consume food, but their food is only on an energy level, right? The only energy they get and absorb all the time, it makes them strong. That's the reason why their body, the tree's body, is very, very powerful. And you can also tap into that. You can have that life force as well, to the point that nothing can ever penetrate inside of your body. So there are trees which they don't need water to live or to sustain themselves. And there are trees that do. Or there are plants that don't need water to live and sustain themselves. But there are plants that do. You get what I'm saying? So it is the same thing which you can also do for yourself. You know, if you want to control your age, if you want to control the way you look, your skin, because I always see people talk about, you have a beautiful skin, right? How do you do it? Yes, there's some things which I do that takes on a natural course, which when I tell people still today, they don't actually believe me that I do that. I've come across people who meet me and they come to realize and see my skin for what it is. They don't think that it's filter anymore, because many people think that, no, this is just a filter, and it's not the case. It's not the filter. But if you were to see me live, you'd actually realize that that's how my skin is, right? I take on the natural substance, which is my urine. First thing in the morning, I drink my urine. But I don't only drink it in the morning only. I drink it 3 times a day. That is in the morning, afternoon, and before I sleep. And every time I firstly bath my face with cold water. That is another thing, right? It can also help. This can also help you to slow down your age, right? And then on top of that, what I do, I take my urine and apply it on my face. I don't use any type of a lotion on my body. I don't do that. I just apply it to my skin, then it just does wonders. It's all about you accepting and loving yourself more, right? But of course, if you're going to take on the urine therapy, right, you must always have a clean diet, okay? You must have a healthy diet. You must drink a lot of water. You don't want to drink your urine, then it becomes bitter. No, you want to drink your urine and you enjoy it. That's a part of a way of you loving yourself to this greatest potential. You get what I'm saying? So there are some diets which I'm also doing. The breathing diets, that is so powerful. I call it the diet of the gods, right? It's only a person on a certain vibration and level in order for you to do these breathing techniques, which I won't share at all with a lot of people, right? I don't want to share these breathing techniques because some of them are very dangerous, and you don't just do these breathing techniques, right? I've been doing these breathing techniques for the longest of time, man. Very. I remember there was a time when I was doing this other technique that has to be constructed in a way that you focus your attention to your first eye, right? And I was still getting used to that, but I actually went very strong and far, because the thing is with me, I'm a fast learner. I'm quick to learn anything, right? Teach me something now, I'll learn it as quick as you would actually be like amazed, that to the point I would actually come back and even give you other great ideas of what you taught me. That's how I am. I'm a fast learner. So as I was doing this breathing technique, right, I was focusing the attention on my first eye, did everything that I had to do, and because I was going in a fast pace, right, and I was just rushing into it, I literally almost exploded, right? I felt this pressure on my first eye. It was so strong to the point that if I didn't stop, possibilities and chances are I was just gonna disappear and be in a different parallel or dimension and be trapped there for good. And I think it was gonna be very hard for me to actually come back to this reality. So I had to stop. So me explaining this, I'm telling you that this is how these breathing techniques can actually go if you're not yet ready and equipped. And it makes it easy. You know, when your Kundalini is fully active, right, it makes it easy for you to actually do these breathing techniques, some of the deep breathing techniques, right? So it's all about the levels of the vibration. But if you take your baby steps and grow into the slides, perhaps you'll come across these breathing techniques. Because I assure you, many people that will actually come across this breathing techniques, it will be you being destined for it, right? Because if it was to be presented to the people in the world, they'll be like, no, this is crazy. They would actually be scared. The way they outline it, they make it show that when you have to go through that information, you'll be scared to tap into it. So that's just like a wall they build for people not to actually, mess with those techniques. But other than that, all of it goes with the diet that you have, right? You're having your diet, your healthy diet, you're eating less, then you'll be able to tap into this highest vibration. You'll be able to unlock many abilities that you have, right? Remember that you have all of these abilities. They are not new. The only thing that you do, you're opening that experience to those abilities, right? So that you can actually now have access to them. You start to manipulate energy. You start to manipulate elements, right? You start to bend all sorts of elements to your will. And then the more you do that, your body then becomes light. See, when your body becomes light, then you can make anything possible. I am telling you, man, I'm not making this up. You can make anything possible. Anything that you want to wish into your life can actually be possible, right? So you just have to maintain your healthy diet. Currently, right now, I'm on fasting, right? To me, fasting is like a day-to-day thing. When I wake up, I don't have any breakfast at all. My breakfast is the breathing techniques. That's it, right? That is my breakfast. I have mastered the technique of living on just the breathing techniques only, without having to consume anything or drinking any water, right? You can actually do that. I've mastered that, right? But however, I choose to eat just once a day, okay? I choose to just eat once a day. If it were to happen that there's going to be a huge shortage of food, I wouldn't be worried at all, because I know how to tap into my body and feed it through the energy, right? I know how to do that. I'm never gonna be worried, but I'm just gonna be worried for the people who are unable to do that, right? So when you go into the slides, you get to realize all of this experience, and it's just wonderful, okay? Because your body is not meant to actually intake any sort of a food, right? I know that people say that, but we have these canines. The only reason why you have these canines is because you have them through the fact that animals that exist in this world, or creatures, they are living today because of us. So they had to take on our form in a different level of them experiencing the life form in this world, right? So this is like a copy and paste for those creatures to have canines like we do. Our body is not built to eat or consume anything. We are just energy beings. The way as you look at a tree every day, that's how you're supposed to be, and on that level. Now you activate your elixir of life and immortality. The immortality is within you. The first fountain of youth is your urine. And for all the Christians, if you were to go back to your Bible and read it well, they talk about this, right? The fountain of youth is your urine. The water that you have to drink, right, that will give you everlasting life, they're talking about is your urine. That is the first elixir in your body. I know in alchemy, which you can actually mix with just urine, with other substances that are natural to make up a stone that can actually turn you to become immortal, right? But that's another deep information. So your body as a whole has the elixir of immortality as a carbon person, right? That is why most of the time already, even though you're eating a lot of food, you still don't age quickly. You age very slow because of your carbon, right? Neuromelanin that you have, okay? But now, when you eat all of those foods, it's just deteriorating all of your genes to be weak, not to be strong anymore. And the people who are giving you this food, they know about this, right? They know about this. So that's one of the reasons why you have abduction of children all the time. Carbon children that are being abducted. Because those beings that feed off our energy, they know that our life force is immortality to them. It is the elixir of life. They want to make sure that they have this blood to themselves and drink it, and to also open our brains and take the pineal gland, right? They can actually locate the pineal gland, that when they consume the brains of the children, they're being able to be rejuvenated. Your pineal gland has the elixir of immortality as well, right? And it becomes powerful situated when you have to work on your sacral chakra. When you activate that portal and restoring that energy into it, or your sexual energy, when you become aroused, you breathe into this sexual energy into the sacral chakra, then you also have the potential of activating the vital force of you becoming immortal, the nectar of immortality. And all of these people that do, when they abduct people all the time, or children, they are consuming all of that. It makes them to live long and to be immortal. So you have to understand this, that if you do your breathing techniques, if you have your healthy diet, now you have this potential to open this elixir of immortality within you. It all takes you having an attention and a focus in the things that you have to do as a spiritual person. So it is very, very, very important, right? So I just wanted to share this, that, you know what? You can actually control the level of your body, how it grows all the time. You just have to be conscious, right? You just have to be conscious. And there's some breathing techniques which I've shared with you guys. Those breathing techniques are actually better, right? They're not very harmful and dangerous. You might want to just check out my the videos and look for the breathing techniques. You'll find that video and then listen to it, and then take some lessons there. Those breathing techniques can play a very significant role in your whole entire life.